Haki Africa is a national human rights organization that is based in Mombasa and is working towards the promotion and protection of human rights in Kenya, particularly at the coast of Kenya. For many years now, we have been working with local communities and also state officials to counter violent extremism and radicalization. In the dispensation of our work, we have come to realize that it's very important for us to reach out to the youth before they become engaged in extremism and radicalization. And when we talk about this youth, we are actually looking at school-going youth, particularly secondary schools. That's why we initiated this project to reach out to secondary school youth in partnership with the Ministry of Education. So this year, we have organized schools debates, which are a very popular extracurricular activity in most secondary schools here in Kenya, to get the youth to start dialoguing, conversing, deliberating, and discussing general issues that promote peace and security at the community level. So we've had debates that have brought together many schools in Mombasa County. And these debates have seen youth actually opening up and speaking to each other, sharing and learning from each other about how best they can contribute to peace and security at the local level.
It takes courage to stand and talk, but it takes courage to sit and listen. Thank you. My worthy opponents standing here saying that human rights are being violated all over the world, but there is peace. We used to ask how many countries are in peace, but nowadays we ask how many countries are fighting. 11 countries are in peace, only and the rest are fighting, and someone is saying that human rights are violated, but there is peace everywhere. Please get your facts right.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to start even awkwardly by saying that things are bad. Short-sighted policies, failed leadership, heavy-handed approaches, a single-minded focus only on security measures, and a clear regard for human rights have made us lose this battle big time. Judges, it is now an open secret that many governments target journalists, bloggers, political dissidents, activists, religious leaders, and human rights defenders because they are critics. If that is not accommodated, it is interfered with the already agreed definition for peace and security. The deprivation of peace and security has nothing to do with human rights. For example, ladies and gentlemen, the concept of peace should not be used as the basis for observing rights and freedoms. What may take? Any restrictions drawing upon a countering framework should not necessarily demonstrate its necessity to protect the rights of others, because by doing so, I don't think there will be peace.
We have had motions, for example, on how to counter violent extremism. We've had motions on how to counter radicalization. We've had motions on promoting cohesion, promoting nationhood and peace at the community level. And what we've seen is that actually these youth do understand what is happening within the community. We've also come to learn that they have a passion for peace, that actually they are not that much into violence, that you know, they are just victims of circumstances, and they would very much like to see peace and understanding being witnessed at the community level.
If I kill you and claim you terrorists, I will get a cash prize.
But my best friend, please let me go. Oh! Ah!
Is this what we cannot deserve? A block discrimination.
In Article 1 of the UDHR, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights.
Hatutaki hata kamwe, lazima tuungane, tuijenge nchi yetu, pasiwe hata mmoja anayetenganisha. Naishi natumaini, najitolea daima Kenya, hakika ya bendera ni uthabiti wangu weusi wa wananchi na nyekundu ni ya damu, kijani ni ya nyeupe ya amani, daima mimi Mkenya, mwananchi mzalendo.
Another thing we've also learned is that most of the upcoming youth actually do not have the stereotypes that are with the larger or older community. They are not divided along tribal lines, they are not divided along religious lines. And this is exactly the thinking, this is exactly the ideology.
Tunataka taifa moja, liso kabila na dini, siasa silete hoja, tuwa Kenya benderani, sauti yetu ni moja, na sote tuheshimuni. Kitangamana kwa wema, shamba letu litangana. Wema uwe wa bashasha, na uzalendo moyoni. Wema uwe mshawasha, turidhiane kidini. Wema dini unganisha, na chuki kuweka chini. Kitangamana kwa wema, shamba letu litangana. Ya wema tumeshasema sikia. Sikia tupate chumba, uhuru kujivunia. Meusia kwa kalima, boresheni tafikia. Kitangamana kwa wema, shamba letu litangana. Santa.
So the debates have actually been very successful in promoting nationhood, peace and understanding. For us, it was very good to see that there's a lot of religious tolerance amongst the youth. And as an organization, Haki Africa has continued to promote religious tolerance amongst the different faiths. We have also worked with the state agencies in a number of the debates. We've had different officials coming to speak to the youth about peace and security. We've had officials from the county government. We've had the senator of Mombasa who has also been there.
Crime of whatever nature does not pay. And I'm asking Haki Africa to hold more of these talks. I was so encouraged to see some of you say so many big words here. So human rights is about doing the right thing. So I'm asking some of you here, young people, when you face out in a challenge in life, the only thing that will distinguish you with the rest of the pack is to do the right thing.
For us, it was a big success to see that even other national organizations have developed an interest in this particular event. For instance, we've seen Power 254 and nationally recognized activists such as Boniface Mwangi gracing some of the debates and talking to the youth.
There are very two important days in your life. Two important days in your life. The day you're born and the day you discover why you are born.
There's no right that has no responsibility. So as we go throughout, the way you have been debating, you have been learning, and in the process, it's my prayer that you carry out this throughout your life.
As an organization, we intend to scale up this particular activity.
During the post-election violence, did we have human rights activists? Yes, we did. But were they able to restore peace and order in our country? Until Kofi Annan came in and we had that dialogue, that's when peace and security were regained in our country. When we had the Mungiki, Michuki was the Minister of Internal Security. And what Michuki did, he enacted stringent measures to curb the Mungiki menace. Did we have human activists at that time? Yes, we did. But it was the stringent measures from the Minister of Internal Security that curbed the Mungiki menace. I rest my case.
The project brought together over 30 schools initially who were consulted. We consulted with the principals and the teachers, but eventually we ended up with 20 schools participating in the project. The project has been successful, I will say, because we've seen students coming up with motions or They've been able to speak on topics that are sensitive, especially in the contemporary society, topics on human rights, topics on security, topics on even the gender bill.
What do you think is the main purpose for human rights? Let me take you back. Let's time travel today. Let's take you back to where culture practices were there, when there was no human rights, when people were not aware of their human rights. We talk about security, but my fellow colleague, actually I'm going to expand more on the meaning of security. Security does not only mean your physical state to be protected, it also means you have to be protected psychologically, mentally, and even physically at the same time.
Security has several meanings, but the most relevant to this motion is the activities involved in protecting a country, an organization, and/or an individual. What do we mean by human rights? These are entitlements that all human beings should and must be awarded, irregardless of race, gender, age, and the discriminational lines. People of Kenya, my colleagues and I will be discussing how human rights has necessitated the being of security.
Judges, Wikipedia describes human rights as the moral principles, the norms which describe the accepted standards of human behavior and are regularly protected as legal rights in the local and international law. They are commonly understood as unchallengeable fundamental rights which every person is entitled to simply because he or she is a human being, regardless of their nation, location, language, religion, ethnic origin, race, or creed, or any other status. I must say from the outset, and without a wing contradiction, that security is not the greatest concern of human rights.
I can say that we've been able to capacity build students, especially in matters concerning security, human rights, gender, devolution, which is something new in the country for now. And we can say as they leave school, as they move out to become actual citizens, they've accomplished something, we've accomplished something. There'll be people who will be able to think out issues and not just follow the river, or like they say in Swahili, wanafuata mkondo wa maji. But they'll be able to reason and see that which is right and that which is wrong. And for us, that reduces radicalization. It reduces issues of insecurity, because we are sure that these students will be able to make positive decisions and to make changes in their society.
Human rights organizations such as this one of ours, Happy Africa, are helping to attain and achieve security at a certain level. Happy Africa, through its various projects such as this forum, this debate for secondary schools in Mombasa County, is aiding us in ensuring security in our county. When we're all here, we kind of understand what human rights are. We kind of understand the importance of security. After this forum is done, I'm not going to go out there and try to have a bit of a fight with someone from Hassan Joho. I'm not going to have a fight with someone from Abu Rera, because we have met here at a forum, a peaceful forum where we are able to interact and showcase how much knowledge we have on human rights. Isn't that right? Happy Africa has also helped in fighting extremism. Human rights organizations helping to fight extremism, helping to avoid insecurity, furthering security.
Been able to create awareness, because the students attending the training, or rather attending the school debates, were not only students who were debating. There were other students who were there, and in as much as some were kicked off during previous debate sessions, in the competition, they were still present, attending the forums. So it means they were also made aware of any other issue they might not have been debating on. Finally, I think the creme de la creme of the project was basically the Peace and Security Gala, which saw over 200 people coming together, 200 students coming together to just listen and entertain us at the same time and debate on issues concerning specifically human rights and security. I will say we've got very good plans for the students who attended and for many more who will be participating. Currently, we're planning a peace and security camp, a human rights camp, basically, to just have the debaters coming and the teachers that were with them from the word-go to just talk about issues dealing with human rights and security.
Yeah, as an organization, Haki Africa is very grateful to the Royal Norwegian Embassy. This particular event has been supported by the Royal Norwegian Embassy, who have made available the resources to mobilize the schools, to bring the youth together, and to award the winners. So we are very grateful to our donors, our sponsors, the Norwegian Embassy, and we hope that in the coming few years we will strengthen our partnership so that we can improve peace and security in Mombasa County.